Welcome to the 12 Hike Podcast, where we talk about all the spooky things that happen outdoors. This is Zach Jenkins. Thanks for listening. So, the month of October is here. That means leaves are changing, the weather's cooling down, you can break out your sweaters and start drinking all those wonderful pumpkin drinks. It is also one of the most celebrated holiday months of the year, with Halloween. That's right, witches and ghouls and goblins and all those other fun, scary things. So we thought we'd take the time to release some special episodes this month. So starting this Saturday, every Saturday for the month of October, we're going to be releasing a couple of short stories that have to do with outdoor recreation or just stories we find particularly interesting. They're going to span, hopefully, from one side of the United States to the other. We may even throw in a little international flair, just for the heck of it. And at the end of October, we're going to do a special episode about the most quintessential outdoor myth I believe that there is, Bigfoot. So sit back, enjoy, and try not to be too scared. One of the ragged legions of gold and silver prospectors who combed the Rocky Mountains searching for fortune in the 1860s was Alfred Packer. He also supplemented his meager income from mining by serving as a guide in the Utah and Colorado wilderness. In early November of 1873, Packer left Bingham Canyon, Utah to lead a party of 21 men bound for the goldfields near Breckenridge, Colorado. The winter of 1873 and 1874 was unusually harsh. After 3 months of difficult travel, the party staggered into the camp of the Ute Indian chief Ouray near present-day Montrose, Colorado. The Utes graciously provided the hungry and exhausted men with food and shelter. Chief Ouray advised the men to stay in the camp until a break came in the severe winter weather. But with their strength rekindled by food and rest, Packer and 5 other men decided to continue their journey. 2 months later, Packer arrived alone at the Los Pinos Indian Agency, looking surprisingly fit for a man who had just completed an arduous winter trek through the Rockies. Packer first claimed he had become separated from his 5 companions during a blizzard and survived on rabbits and rosebuds. Suspicions grew, though, when it was discovered that Packer had an unusual amount of money and many items belonging to the missing men. Under questioning, Packer confessed that the real story was far more gruesome. 4 of the men, he claimed, had died naturally from the extreme winter conditions, and the starving survivors ate them. When only Packer and 1 other man, Shannon Bell, remained alive, Bell went insane and threatened to kill Packer. Packer said he shot Bell in self-defense and eventually ate his corpse also. Though shocking, Packer's grisly story would probably have been accepted as an unfortunate tragedy had it not been for searchers later finding the remains of the 5 men at a single campsite, not strung out along the trail as Packer had claimed. Packer was arrested and charged with murder, but he escaped from jail and remained at large for 9 years. He was recaptured in 1883 near Fort Fetterman, Wyoming, and Packer once again changed his story. He claimed that all 6 men had made camp alive, but lost and starving, they were too weak to go on. One day, Packer went in search of the trail. Upon returning several hours later, he discovered to his horror that Bell had gone mad and killed the 4 others with a hatchet and was boiling the flesh of one of them for his meal. When Bell spotted Packer, he charged with his hatchet raised, and Packer shot him twice in the stomach. Lost and trapped alone in a camp of dead men, Packer said he only resorted to cannibalism after several more days, when it was his only means of survival. Having twice changed his story, Packer's credibility was undermined, and a jury convicted him of manslaughter. He remained imprisoned in the Kansas City Penitentiary until 1901, when the Denver Post published a series of articles and editorials questioning his guilt. Eventually, the state freed Packer on parole. Packer went to work as a guard for the Denver Post and lived quietly in and around Littleton, Colorado, maintaining his innocence until the day he died in 1907. Recent forensic studies of the remains of the men who died have tended to support the details of Packer's second confession. Although it's really hard to say, we may never know exactly what happened on the Cannibal Plateau. Mount Chauvenot is one of the 58 mountains here in Colorado known as a 14er. That's a mountain with a summit of over 14,000 feet. Mount Chauvenot lies just east of the Continental Divide and just west of the Arkansas River, rising 7,200 feet above the town of Salida. This mountain peak is known for more than just its elevation, though. Mount Chauvenot is famous for the Angel of Chauvenot, a snow formation in the image of an angel that emerges on the east face of the mountain during snowmelt each year. The snow angel gracing Mount Chauvenot has 3 different legends of how that angel originated. The first legend is probably the least known or popular, but still is a part of the history of how the angel came to be. The legend goes that the Indian chief Chauvenot lived in the valley below the mountain and became close friends with a freed slave and mountain man named Jim Beckworth. Another version of the story tells of Chief Chauvenot's friendship with a scout named George Beckwith. In both stories, the chief's friend was severely injured in an accident. The chief went to the base of Mount Chauvenot to pray for his friend. As a sign the spirits heard his prayer, an angel of snow appeared on the side of Mount Chauvenot. The second legend has to do with the goddess Jupiter. In this legend, the goddess Jupiter exiled a younger goddess whose unpredictability and mischievous behavior annoyed her. Jupiter turned the young goddess into an angel of ice and told her she would be stuck to Mount Chauvenot until tragedy struck the humans in the valley below. One year, there was very little snow. A severe drought brought on sickness and death. This made the goddess angel cry, which caused her body of ice to break apart and fall towards the valley. As it traveled down the mountain, the ice melted and filled the river with water, ending the drought. The goddess Jupiter returned and told the angel she was freed and could leave the mountain. However, the angel told Jupiter she wanted to stay so she could care for the people below. The request was granted, but only on one condition: that the angel would melt away every spring. In the most popular version of this story, the valley of Mount Chauvenot was at one time occupied by Indians who found the fertile area ideal for hunting, fishing, and other food sources. A year of little snow in the mountains left the valley so dry, the Indians were forced to start searching for another place to live. An Indian princess, heartbroken at the prospect of having to move, went to the base of the mountain and prayed, asking the spirits to end the drought. The Indian god of plenty said he would answer her prayer, but only if she sacrificed herself to the gods. The god then transformed the princess into the angel of Mount Chauvenot. Each spring, the princess reappears and cries for her people. The tears melt the ice and snow and provide water to the river and streams below. The reality of why the angel of Mount Chauvenot is on the mountainside is probably rooted in more something like this. Years of erosion and coincidence have caused some sort of formation on the side of the mountain that appears to be angel-like. It can be interpreted a number of ways, and this coincidental formation has spawned the legends as a way of explaining how that formation got up there. But I'll leave you with this. I just want to ask you a very simple question. What's more believable? That a coincidence could make something in the shape of an angel on the side of a mountain, or that a Native American princess sacrificed herself to the gods in order to save her people? I'll let you answer that question.